Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you all are doing well, staying safe, staying healthy. Welcome back to the second episode of The Chat Show. I am Saptak Chatterjee, and for those of you who have tuned in for the first time, first of all, thank you so much. Second of all, who am I? I am Saptak Chatterjee, a singer-songwriter, music producer, Indian classical vocalist, and I think I can call myself a content creator now. And for those of you who have stuck with me since the beginning of my journey, who know me, who know my music, have heard it and supported it and loved it, thank you so much. It is because of my interactions with you all and the experiences that we have shared together that has enabled me to do what I'm doing right now and bring you all of this content. So what does it really take to become a musician in this country or anywhere in the world really? What do you need to do? What do you need to learn? What kind of people do you need to know? And is it really expensive to become a musician? Does it take a lot of resources? You see all these fancy music videos, all these recording deals. How does all of this happen? Where does the money come from? Today's video, we will be discussing all of that and a lot more. I'm going to give you solid concrete points, no beating around the bush, no ambiguity, just straight up solid points. First and foremost, you have to love the process of creating the art. If you're choosing to become a musician, you have to love the process of creating music, not just whether a song becomes a hit, not just the kind of shows you get from the song, from your album, not just the kind of money you earn from it, but the process of creating it. You know, I've spent 6, 7, 8 hours thinking about just 4 lines and eventually I've come up with nothing. But do I hate the process? Do I feel like giving up? Not at all. I get up the next day, I show up feeling equally motivated and excited. Is it the same with you? If the answer is yes, then sure, you've got what it takes. What's the second thing that you need? You need to be able to enjoy being around musicians all day, every day. You need to love listening to music. Are you the kind of person who's traveling in a cab, going in the metro and humming something and constantly thinking of a melody, thinking of, oh, you know what, I should do this, I should think like that, I should plan a photo shoot. Are you the kind of person who thinks like that? If you do, then yes, in my experience, I think this is for you. What's the next thing that you need to become a musician? What kind of skill set do you have? Are you a singer? Are you an instrumentalist? Are you a music producer? Are you a songwriter? Are you just a lyricist? I, for example, am a singer-songwriter and a music producer. Over a period of say 5, 6, 7, 8 years, I have taught myself music production. I have also learned music production from an institute, my audio school where I went to. I have also learned classical music. My formal training has been in classical music. You need to identify your skill set. First and foremost, you need to know what it is that you're good at or what it is that you want to be good at. Is there something that you're naturally excellent at? Say it could be guitars, it could be coming up with lyrics, words, just 4 lines at a time. Do you think you have a flair for that? What are you really good at? What do you want to become good at? Identifying a skill set, a particular skill set is extremely important. What's next? Identify a target audience that you'd like to appeal to. Do you make music for teens? Do you make music for people who are in their 20s or 30s? Do you make music for an older audience, say 40 plus? Do you make music for kids who are less than 15? Now you might ask me, hey Saptak, how do I really identify my target audience? How do I tell what kind of people, what kind of age group I want to make music for? Well, it truly depends. I mean, what kind of themes are you talking about? Are you talking about early love? Are you talking about early breakups? Are you talking about the way we find and rediscover ourselves later on in our lives? Are you talking about love that eventually turns to toxicity? Are you talking about heartbreak which happens over and over again? What is it that you're talking about? We'll tell you the kind of audience that you're appealing to. Next, say you've decided to become a musician. You have taken the leap. You have utmost confidence, faith trust in yourself, your capabilities. How do you let the world know that you're about to do this? Because no matter how much we like it or dislike it, we are functioning in a society, in a group of people. How do you let the world know that, hey, you know what, I'm a musician, I'm new on the block, and I deserve to be heard. I need to be heard. How do you tell people that? Social media, social media, social media, social media, social media. It is extremely important to know how to maneuver, how to navigate your way through all the different social media platforms. Instagram, Facebook, whatever you're on, Snapchat, TikTok, even YouTube for that matter. So you need to be really adept, really well versed with how to use social media. Now I know it's a daunting task. I think I'm still not really good at it. What I'm doing right now, creating content for you all, I love doing this, and I know this does classify as content, but even now when I think about it, it really feels daunting to me. It feels like, oh, I'm still so nervous. I don't know whether this will do well. I don't know whether this adds any value to your lives. But, I took a leap. I do my best to teach myself ways to navigate the world of social media, to utilize all the wonderful free tools that I have. Instagram is free, Facebook is free, YouTube is almost free. And, I have, over the period of time, I have taught myself, I've asked my friends for help. So you've got to do that for yourself as well. The next point, and an extremely important point, is you have to be an all-rounded performer. What do I mean when I say you need to be an all-rounded performer? You need to, of course, be extremely good at your art. You need to be extremely skilled, extremely practiced, extremely well versed with everything to do with your instrument, whether it's your voice, whether it's a guitar, drums, bass, music production, whatever it is you've chosen to do. But what else does it mean to be a performer? You need to be able to speak well. Now, please don't misunderstand me. I don't mean you need to be able to talk in English well. I mean you need to be well spoken in whatever your language might be. For all I care, it could be Hindi, Bhojpuri, Tamil, Telugu, Bengali, whatever it is. It could be a smaller dialect. As long as you're well spoken in whatever language and dialect you're comfortable in, it checks all the boxes. You need to be able to interact with the audience when you're performing. An audience is coming not just for your music, but for you as a personality, as a person, as an entity. They need to interact with you and you need to interact with them. You could be an introvert, you could be an extrovert, you could be an ambivert, everything in the middle. But I think it's extremely important to be able to interact with the audiences when you're performing live, or say right now I'm interacting with you, right? If I were shy or uncomfortable talking about my experiences, what I have learned in my life, I would not have been able to do this. But over a period of time, I have interacted with orators, I have interacted with public speakers, I have also interacted with poets, writers, novelists, and I have learned to be comfortable in my own skin, to speak comfortably the way I speak. It's just about being confident in however you talk, whatever little bit you can talk about, but knowing that inside and out. What more do you need to be a good performer? Now, you need to be able to really groove to the music that you make. What do I mean by that? Some would interpret this as being able to dance. Some others would interpret this as stage presence. I personally think it's a mix of having chemistry between the bandmates on stage, having a lot of stage presence, which means you're moving with the music, you're looking at people, you're making eye contact with your bandmates, with the other musicians. Also a little bit of dancing here and there. Now I understand everybody cannot be a fantastic dancer, right? Everybody doesn't groove the same way. Everybody does not move the same way. Everybody does not feel comfortable moving the same way. You need to find your groove. You need to find your space, your zone. You need to enjoy the music to an extent that when you're on stage performing it, it's almost like you're playing it for the first time, Even after the 100th concert, it should feel like you're meeting your bandmates for the first time and you're super excited to play with them. And if you're doing that, then you are really creating an aura, a vibe. And that is exactly what a performer does. In my experience, when I started off, I come from a hardcore Indian classical background. And if you've ever seen an Indian classical performance, we sit down. हम चौकड़ी मार के बैठते हैं और बड़े आराम से बहुत शांत तरीके से हम घंटा 2 घंटा 3 घंटा परफॉर्म करते हैं. But the moment I stepped into the world of contemporary, modern pop music, rock music, band culture, I realized that that is the exact opposite of what I need to do. Because, I used to feel that, oh, will I look good moving? Maybe I look a little fat, maybe I don't look so nice. I had all those things, I mean, these are problems that everybody faces. These are doubts that everybody has. I had all of that too. And then one day I saw a video of mine performing live. Somebody had shot it using a proper camera. And I saw myself, and to be very honest, I was so disappointed. I still remember, I think it was JMC. I was in my final year of college and we were performing at the fest at JMC. And we had a song called When You, or I think Batia, one of the two. And we were playing that, and somebody shot it using a camera, and I saw the video much later. When I saw it, I was so utterly disappointed. Like, everybody else was moving. The guitar player, the fellow Western vocalist, even the drummer was grooving so much. The pianist, the person on the keyboard, everybody was grooving. But I was the only one who was, I could sense the apprehension and the hesitation from across the screen. And I saw that and I was like, something's really not right, I have to change it. And that's when I sort of, told myself, I'll move. It doesn't matter if I can't dance. The least I can do is just bob my head to the tempo of the music, to the beats. Once I started doing that, I told myself, all right, now that I'm doing this, the least I can do is just move around a little. Then I told myself, oh, the least I can do is just have some chemistry. Look at my bandmates, smile at them, because, in every live performance, mistakes happen. थोड़ा बहुत इधर उधर गलतियाँ तो हो ही जाती हैं. I told myself, जितनी बार गलतियाँ होंगी उतनी बार मैं जिसने भी करा हो उसकी तरफ देखूंगा. थोड़ा बहुत हम हंसेंगे, कूदेंगे, खेलेंगे स्टेज पर ही while playing, ताकि लोगों को भी लगे कि यार ये लोग enjoy कर रहे हैं. And the moment people start feeling that you're enjoying, they'll start enjoying. It's a magical process, really. Everybody feeds off of each other's energy. So that's what you need to do. That's the other point that you need to become a performer. What's the other thing that you need to really become a performer? On stage and off stage interaction are equally important. Say you're done with a crazy performance. People are losing their minds over the performance. You are over the moon. It went so well. Everything was right. The band was tight. People were enjoying it. It was a full house. You were looking good. You spoke well. What happens after you come off stage? Do you run straight to the green room? Do you, hide from the crowd? Do you just go off with your bandmates? Are you waiting to go back home because you can't handle so many people? Well, I know that feeling, but you know what? It is extremely important to interact with the people after a performance is over and before a performance starts. People want to know what kind of person you are. They'll come up to you and say, hey, that was so good. We really enjoyed it. Yaar, kya lag rahe the aap? You can't just say, yeah, yaar. You have to be like, yeah, thanks a lot. Yaar, I really appreciate that you noticed this because I put in so much effort. Have real conversations with people on and off stage, before the performance, after the performance. That way, the next time they come for the performance, they are equally excited about you as a person, as they are about you as a musician, as they are about your music, Oh, did I see you have to dress well? Now, please believe me when I say you don't need expensive clothes. You just need to look good. You need to look confident. Even if you're wearing regular clothes, just look confident. Just don't feel like, oh, मेरे पास कपड़े नहीं है यार, मेरे पास ये fancy jacket नहीं है, वो नहीं है. Wear what you love wearing. Be comfortable wearing whatever you want to wear. And just see how you can spice it up a little. Like, for example, this. Now, many of you might think this is not looking nice. Maybe it's not, but I feel really good wearing this. What is this? This is maybe 20-30 bucks, but I really love wearing this, right? Look so confident, look so happy wearing what you wear that it creates a vibe. Being well dressed is also about how you carry what you wear. If you're confident, if you're feeling good about the way you look, the way you present yourself, it's all good. It is all good. The next thing that you need to become a musician or a creator is discipline. Now, motivation is amazing, right? You're motivated to work every morning, you get up inspired, excited. But what happens when you run out of motivation? That is when discipline kicks in. You have to get into the habit of showing up. Just watch videos that will stay at the back of your mind. Watch a performance, a live performance of somebody you idolize. Read something. Of course, I'm assuming that you're going to do all of this for constructive purposes. If you want to just enjoy, watch Netflix, sure. But I'm saying if you do want to make constructive use of your day and you are not motivated to work, then what do you do? What I do is I watch videos of performances, I watch tutorial videos, I watch interviews, I just, speak to my friends. I sit down and make notes of the kind of projects that I want to do in future. And honestly, in my life, in my experience, that's how motivation always strikes me. Motivation, discipline, 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 suddenly motivation, motivation, again discipline. But discipline is constant, So you really need to find a balance between inspired to work and disciplined enough to keep learning. Yeah. The next thing that is very important to become an artist, a creator, or a musician, particularly, is that you need to have some goals. What has worked for me in the past and what is working for me right now is to set a short-term goal, a medium-term goal, and a long-term goal. My short-term goal right now is to shoot videos, is to make songs for the third album. I have already finished writing a couple of songs. My short-term target is to finish writing the third song. My medium-term goal right now is to have enough content for my YouTube series so that I can actually start releasing. Hopefully, by the time you're watching it, I have achieved my medium-term goal. What is my long-term goal? Finish writing album 3, plan a lot of shows for my second album, reach a very, very comfortable position with my YouTube videos, have at least 52 videos for the year, 4 videos a month. So that's my long-term goal. And you'd ask me why I set so many goals. Because it keeps me focused. It keeps telling me what I need to do, when I need to do, what I need to balance. Because I know my long-term goal is 52 videos, I will not be worried about shooting 52 videos just now. But because my short-term goal is to shoot at least 2 to 3 months worth of content, that is what I'll be focusing on now. And that is what setting goals and targets does. It really helps me to focus my energy, to, prioritize, to divert funds where I need to divert funds, and to save for what I need to save. Because honestly, if I'm worried about 52 videos right now, and I'm worried about finishing the third song for the third album, and I'm worried about planning a number of shows for my second album, there is no way I can do all of it. What's the next thing that you need to do? You need to make some compromises. Where a lot of my friends or a lot of others would be, going on vacations or spending on food or say spending on gadgets. I did not. I saved that money because I knew I need to work on music videos, because I knew I need to shoot YouTube videos, because I knew I have to head into a studio to record my next song. That's what I mean when I say you have to make compromises. Now, attending a party, attending a social gathering, all of these things seem very normal, right? And everybody needs a break. You need to live a life. But what happens when you know you have a rehearsal the next day? Your friends are telling you, man, just come for 1 hour, just come for a couple of hours. But once you go there for a couple of hours, you'll come back way too tired. You just can't work because you need to take a break, right? So in such situations, you need to take a decision. You need to choose. And well, more often than not, if you've decided to go all in, then there's a high likelihood you will say no to your friends and say yes to the rehearsal. That's what I mean when I say you'll have to make some compromises. Don't feel bad about it, because the next day when the rehearsal goes really well, and trust me, it will, you will be glad that you stayed home the previous night and did some prep work. Another very, very important thing is, and please try your level best to make sure you do this, please try and make sure that you have at least one source of fixed income before you decide to just go all in. When I started, I did not have it, and I faced severe problems because of that. I had to borrow money from friends. I had to borrow money from parents. Please try your level best to have at least one source of fixed income before you start. It will not only help you pay for your bills, but it will also give you the peace of mind that if music doesn't start paying right away, at least there is something that is coming in every month. Plus, when you have a fixed source of income, you can finance music videos, you can finance studio recordings, you can finance rehearsals. On an average, I pay 1,000 rupees for every rehearsal. and we rehearse a lot. I must be spending anywhere from, I don't know, 5,000-6,000 to 10,000-11,000 rupees a month just on rehearsals. There must have been a period of 4 years, somewhere in the middle, where I did not shop for a single piece of clothing. 4 years, no new clothes. Now, I know I sound like I'm privileged, but what I'm trying to say is when you're constantly surrounded by people who are, just purchasing new clothes for every festival, winter shopping, summer shopping, this is normal in an urban setup. And the way I have grown up, this was always something that happened. But for 4 years, because I was spending all the money that I earned on music videos, on recordings, on photo shoots, on videos, on organizing shows, I chose to not spend money on anything else. Now, I could have probably done that if I had a fixed source of income apart from whatever I was earning through music. Now, the next few points that I'm going to talk about are not technical in nature, and they have nothing to do with the outside world as such. These are things that you need to tell yourself every day, all day, and these are things that you have to be at peace with. One, in my experience, expecting overnight success, expecting immediate fame and popularity will always break your heart, will always disappoint you. Please prepare yourself for a long journey, for a long and arduous journey, a difficult journey. There will be moments where you feel like giving up. There will be moments where everybody around you will be doubting you. But you need to have utmost faith in yourself. You need to have confidence in yourself. You need to have conviction. You need to truly love the process of creating music, creating the art. Even this, what I'm doing right now, I must have spent weeks and months just thinking about doing it, how I'll do it, where I'll do it, what I'll be talking about, what kind of equipment I'll need. And eventually I reached a position where all of that thought, I had done it with so much focus, so much devotion, so much dedication that when I actually got down to doing it, everything fell in place. And I am here right now in front of you. Do not expect to generate millions of streams right away. It might happen. If it happens, amazing. I'm so happy for you. But if it doesn't happen, do not think that you haven't made it. Do not think you're not cut out for it. What really works for me is slow but gradual and continuous growth. I'm just going to go ahead and say it again. Slow but gradual and continuous growth. Now, the next 3 points have played an extremely crucial role in my life personally. First is, have a support system so strong that even if you want to stop doing it, they don't let you stop it, because they know just how much you love the process of creating the art that you've chosen to create. Make sure you trust them, make sure they understand what you do and truly understand the difficulties in what you do. Because believe me, this field can get so lonely, so hard, so difficult that at the end of the day, it is extremely difficult to deal with all of it alone. The second point is, never ever compare. I know it is human nature to compare your achievements, your growth, your success with somebody else's. But as far as possible, now I'm not saying don't do it, because, well, I'd be lying if I say I still don't do it. I do it, but I try and snap myself out of it the moment I see I'm spiraling out of control. As far as possible, please do not compare yourself to somebody else. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's pace of growth is different. Everybody's story is different. I do not know where you come from. You do not know what kind of background I come from. Maybe I have faced a lot of hardships. Maybe you have not. Maybe you have seen privilege throughout your life. Maybe I have seen struggle throughout my life. Who knows? Everybody's story is completely different. The best we can do is take the good bits, try and deal with the bad bits, and just learn. We live and we learn. But please, let us all try to never compare our achievements, our accomplishments to anybody else's. And the last point that I have for you is, please have utmost faith in yourself. Show up, just do it, just keep doing it. Now with that out of the way, Is becoming a musician that expensive? Is becoming a creator really so expensive that a lot of people can't afford to do it? Do you really require lakhs and lakhs of rupees to make a music video, to hire a studio, or to work with a filmmaker? Well, the answer in my experience is yes and no. When I started doing it, of course, the answer was no because, well, I did not have so much money to spend. But even now, when I've sort of reached a position where life is a lot easier than it used to be, even now, I do not spend so much money every single time I make a music video. So for all of you out there who are just starting out, who are new to this industry, who are young, maybe you haven't started earning at all, anything yet. Let me tell you that becoming a musician is not that expensive. In fact, I'll give you a roadmap of a low budget starting point, a medium budget starting point, and a high budget starting point. Say you've just graduated from school or college and you really haven't started earning. जो भी दादा दादी नाना नानी ने आपको birthdays पे दिया है, festivals पे दिया है, parents ने आपको जो भी दिया है over a period of time, वो सब मिला के मान लीजिए आपके पास 50,000 रुपए हैं. I think in today's urban setup, assuming that you would have 50,000 rupees collectively is not that far an assumption. All right, you know what? Just chuck that. Say you have 25,000 rupees. That's it, right? Can you start a career in music with just 25,000 rupees? The answer is a big fat yes. Now you will ask me, Saptak, how? We want to make a music video. We want to record in a studio. We want a photo shoot. We want a filmmaker. How can everything happen in 25,000 bucks? I'll tell you how. Now, with low budget comes a lot of DIY stuff, a lot of DIY processes. Now, DIY does not mean low quality. Some of the biggest creators in the world, some of the biggest artists in the world still do stuff which is absolutely DIY. One of my closest friends who is a vlogger, an actor, a YouTuber, she still does so much DIY. And it's amazing the kind of quality you can achieve with DIY and free apps. I mean, take social media for example, take Instagram for example, take, I don't know, a Snapseed or a Canva. All of these apps are free. They have paid versions as well, but you can make anything you want just using the free version. There are studios which charge you 500 per hour. Say you want to record a song. How long can it possibly take you to record? 6 hours, 7 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours? That's still just 10,000 rupees, right? 520. उसके बाद आपको mix करवाना है. That's again 500 per hour. I personally know people who mix for 500 an hour. Now, say you want to make a brilliant poster for the song, an artwork for the song. Just use Canva. That's absolutely free. Say you want to make a video for free. Believe me, before YouTube videos, most of my reels on Instagram were made using InShot. It's absolutely free, right? So if I can do it, you can do it. Now, say you want to edit your photos for free. Every photo editing app on App Store is free. It has paid versions. Snapseed, Lightroom, all of them have free versions. You can totally go ahead and use it. Now you'll ask me, hey, what if I want to get a music video shot? Now that is where you move from a very, very low budget to some sort of a medium budget. Even though I have gotten my music video shot for just 20,000 rupees. I released a song called Darya way back in 2018, I think. That did not cost me so much. Now, of course, people who have worked with me in the past, we have all grown up together. So what they charge now is a lot more than what they charged back then. Why I'm saying this is because I don't want to give you a false impression that you can still work with the same bunch of people at the same prices. But what I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to get at is I have gotten professional music videos shot for only 20,000 rupees. If you go out into the world and talk to people who are studying filmmaking, who are studying visual effects, who are designers, graphic designers, product designers, visual artists who are just starting out, you would be amazed at how many people would love to collaborate with you. There are so many artists out there who just want to collaborate, work together and create something that all the parties involved can talk about with pride. If you just look a little, you can find people who are at the same level as you, who would be willing to collaborate with you, who would be willing to work with you at a very, very reasonable cost. Let's say you've moved on to a medium budget. Now, of course, the world is your oyster. You can get a music video shot for 30,000, 35,000. You can now slowly start investing in better studios which charge 1,000 per hour or say 800 per hour. You can now speak to say photo editors who will edit say a bunch of photos for 10,000 bucks, 15,000 bucks. You know, this is how you keep amping up. This is how you move on to the next level. Now say you are a high budget musician, right? Say you have a lakh rupees that you're willing to spend on a couple of songs. Let me tell you, you can do a lot with a lakh rupees, right? You can get music videos shot for 35,000 each. You can hire studios which charge you 800 rupees an hour. You can still work with editing apps which are free because say you still want to save some money. You can still work with visual artists who would work for 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees. So yes, it is not expensive to start. It is not expensive to become a musician. There are some fixed costs involved. Say you're a guitar player, you will need a guitar. If you're a drummer, you will need some sort of practice drum pad. If you're a bass guitar player, you'll need a bass. If you're a flautist, you'll need a flute. If you're a sarod player, you'll need a sarod. Now, these are fixed expenses which unfortunately you cannot avoid. But beyond this, really, everything can be done at a very, very low budget. You can teach yourself via YouTube. It is absolutely free. Practice, practice, practice. Work hard, work smart. It is not difficult. If I can do it, you can do it. If you enjoyed what you heard in this video, please leave a like. Please subscribe to the channel. The Chat Show will only keep growing with your support, your love, your encouragement. This is only the second episode. We have a lot more in store for you at The Chat Show. And every time you subscribe and you hit that bell icon down there, I become friends with the YouTube algorithm. And when I become friends with the YouTube algorithm, good things start happening. So leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next week in episode number 3 of The Chat Show. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, stay positive, keep working hard, keep working smart, show up, be disciplined, love the process. Take care.